Hey everybody, I hope you've all had a great couple weeks. It's been a little bit. Let's just that. So yeah, I just been pretty busy, so I kind of had to cut some things out of my schedule, and unfortunately, streaming was just the thing that had to go. But I think that I'll be more. Gonna try to be more consistent now. Oops. Let me silence that. Um, so yeah, a couple things happened while I was taking a break. First of all, I kind of combined my two Twitter accounts, so now I just have Ned Makes Games as my personal Twitter and also my stream announcement Twitter. So feel free to follow me there if you're interested in that. And also, I decided to go ahead and create a new Instagram account just because I think it's kind of cool to post screenshots and stuff there. So I'm gonna try to be pretty active. So if you're interested in that, it's also just Dead Makes Games. I actually need to make a command for that in my what's it called? My chat bot. Remind myself to do it, but hopefully I'll remember when the stream is over. What else? Oh, I also reached a threshold on YouTube where I have an actual channel name now instead of just a bunch of numbers. So now my channel is youtube.com/NedMakesGames. So thanks everybody for subscribing, and I really do appreciate all my YouTube viewers. If you like always, feel free to comment there. I do read everything. So if you're not able to catch a stream live, I mean that's just as good. But okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the game development. Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, also, yeah, let me know if the volume is off because some of my audio settings got reset, I think by the Windows update a couple days ago. So I'm pretty sure I got it all fixed, but just in case, let me know. Also, I switched headphones, so getting tired of wearing those big ones every day. All right, let me pull up dashboard. Okay, so I've been working on this game for a while just to kind of practice some. I wanted to do some cool effects. Oops, something is messed up right here. Okay, why would that be? Okay, but I was gonna show you, but of course there's an error right when I try to start it up. Should have grabbed it right there, but maybe... Yeah, this doesn't need to be in awake. Probably safer to have it in start. Never had that error happen before. Okay, but anyway, yeah, ignore this little bit out here. I keep on adjusting the size of the board, but it's kind of like a reverse Pac-Man is how I kind of think about it. I can try to play it, but of course the gameplay is still in development. And also ignore the kind of particles, but thing is that you're trying to go through this maze and collect all these collectibles, which is basically just every tile, and you want to try to find the quickest way to go through the maze. And as you go through, your character starts to move faster, so it's harder not to hit the walls. Yeah, and that's what happens if you hit a wall. You kind of lose time. So there's an interesting, like, I kind of like the design because it has an interesting strategy to it where you try to figure out the path that would is quickest, but at the same time there's also an execution element where you have to try to not hit any of the walls. So I thought it was pretty fun, and plus I'm really liking the way it's looking. But right now I'm trying to add some particle effects to the game, which I've never actually messed with particles in Unity very much. So that's what's going on right now. You can kind of see it on these stars, but there's some weirdness, like they rotate with the star, and that's not really what I want to happen. And also the sorting is kind of weird because it seems like they go beneath the walls of the maze, which I kind of like them to show up on top. And like that one actually did show up on top. But if you watch in the scene view, you can see that there's these big circles that cover everything, and they're being rendered by a separate camera, and then that texture is projected onto the top of these blocks, and that's what makes the colors here. So I think that what I want to do is have colored particles in the the quote real world that display beneath the star and also beneath the maze blocks. And then also there will be particles in the projected world that would be black and would show up on top of these colored circles. So that's the idea anyway. Okay. So in order to do that, I need to kind of have two separate particle spawners. Well, I guess I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. First of all, I need to make it so that these particles don't rotate with the star object. You can kind of see right here that they kind of have this jerky movement. First of all, I'm going to turn off the colored circle so I can actually see things in the editor. But if you look at the star particles, they have a jerky movement because they're rotating along with the object itself. So we want to try to fix that. And I think that mostly just has to do with the star animator here. Because when it rotates the star object, it's actually rotating the whole transform instead of just the child transform. Or the child is actually... I should probably rename this model since we're getting a little bit more complicated here. So yeah. What I should do is just do a local rotation. It should work, but I'm going to need to probably change the axis here. I think, let me see. So right now, it's already rotated by -90 degrees to convert from Blender's coordinate system to Unity's. Let's see, if I add, I don't know, 45 here, does it rotate the correct direction? Oh, it does. Okay, so we can actually leave the rotation on the Y, but I just need to set -90 here, and it should be fine. Okay, so now, again, it's kind of hard to see in the game view, so I'll move back to the editor and turn off these circles. Okay, yeah, so now they're just moving outward from the star. Hard to tell. Do they have an inherent... No, they're not like having any orbital velocity. I'm not sure if you can do that with the particle system. Okay, so let's move back into the editor and just play this. Pretty sure there is an orbital velocity. Oh, right here. What happens if I just set that to 1? Okay, nothing happens. Oh, okay, that's strange. Well, so it's wobbling. Oh, but probably because I want the orbit to be along the y-axis. So yeah, I'm doing this wrong. Okay, that's not what I want either. Apply orbital velocity to particles, which will rotate them around the center of the system. Okay, I guess Z is the way I want it to be. But now, okay, I guess this is just too wrong. That's pretty cool, actually. Okay. So here I can set it to be random between these two constants so that not every particle will have the same velocity. I think I would like them all to go clockwise. Maybe a little stronger though. Okay. I think the thing I'm not liking here is that they slow down too much at their end of lifetime. Let me edit this value here to be 1/2, so that way they'll just have half the speed at the end of their life. I just messed that up. Well, it doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, anyway, so this doesn't actually do anything. So I think I probably should make these be a little less frequent because they're gonna spawn for like every star on the map. Oh, okay. This is actually, yeah, the number it spawns every second. So if I want it to be less frequent, I need to make these small numbers. So now it should spawn 1 every 10 to, I guess, 3 seconds. Okay, this is probably good because, I mean, there's going to be a lot of these stars out on the map. Okay, so one other thing I need to do, I need to change the way this works. The duration doesn't really matter because it's going to loop anyway. Let me see. What do I want to change? What am I? Oh yeah, so I want to turn off play on awake. Because I don't want it to start playing by itself because I need to set the random seed myself. Because I need this to run at the same time as the the system that runs on the projected world. I think I can duplicate this. And then what is the other layer called? Okay, I think it's world, which is a little bit of a weird name. Yeah, this project is a bit, what's the word? I guess I've been working on it on and off for a while, so it has some kind of old systems stuck into it. Okay, so let's see. The only thing I want to change here is to make this color black, I think. Okay, and so now I need to have a new script that will set these two systems to have the same random seed and then play them on awake. Or I guess it should be on... Oh, actually these... Well, we could do it on enable, except these stars are destroyed and then recreated, so I don't really have to worry about that. Okay, so I guess I'll just call this particle system synchronizer. And also, every time I do this, I almost always type in tactical lizard tamer. Speaking about that, I am going to get back to that project, but right now, since I have these other smaller things I'm trying to finish, it might be a little bit until we go back, which I know we kind of stopped at an awkward place right in the middle of doing the lobby. So I don't know. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do my new stream schedule. Realize field. Probably, I think I'm going to stream at least every Tuesday, Thursday. So maybe Tuesdays will work on Lizard Tamer and Thursdays will work on other projects. I don't know. Particle system. So we'll just have a bunch of different particle systems here. And on start, we'll just pick some seed. So seed is random range. Oh yeah, it's getting confused between the Unity engine random and the system random object. So you just kind of, you have to specify it there. So we want the int. We basically want the full range of integers. Just pick a number in there. Okay. And then we just need to synchronize the seeds. So for each system in, oop, forgot the variable type. So system seed, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. System seed equals seed. And then you can start it. Oh, is it play? Okay, what's wrong with this? Oh. Okay, well that's fine. Pretty sure I can just do this and it'll be identical. Oops, I spelled that wrong. I don't think there's a range that I can use a random unsigned integer, unfortunately. It would be kind of useful because a lot of times I do have to generate seeds that way. Okay, so now I should just add the synchronizer. Okay, once it recompiles. And add in these two systems. So now they should have the same seed and now they should always be on top of each other. The only difference is the color and then their layers. Also, I guess this one should probably be higher up. I'm not really sure. I don't remember the altitude of the circles. There's probably somewhere where I have the maximum. Okay, so it increments by 5, and okay, so it starts at 0. So probably if I just put these, I don't know, at like y equals 10, it should be safe. Although, I don't know how high the camera is. Okay, it is at y equals 10, so let's just put it at 9. Also, do they have... Like, they should only move on the XZ plane. It seems like they don't. That will do some kind of strange things. Well, I'll just go ahead and set this. 09. So I guess let's just see if this works, and then we can try and fix the plane of movement. Okay, we should see black stars appear on the maze blocks, but I don't. I do see the yellow ones though, and so every time a yellow star intersects this block, we should see the black, like right there. Although maybe it's just getting covered up. Okay, so if I look, okay, I can see the black stars, so they are getting spawned at least. Oh, but they're in the mask layer. Okay. So this should be in the mask layer as well. Let's try that real quick. Oh, okay, there we go. I saw one right here. Yeah, there we go. It is working. Although... I'll have to look really close to see if they're actually synchronized together. Okay, yeah, that one looked good. I saw the yellow come out and then the black. Alright. Okay, so now I need to make it so that it only moves on the XZ plane. I'm not sure. I would have thought that that would help. I mean, that would already happen because... Oh, it's set as a sphere, actually, not a dot. Okay, what's this? Translate the emission shape. Okay, so if I set the Z shape to 0, then maybe it would scale. Be nice. I can't wait until the sub. I was gonna say it'd be nice if I could have this inherit settings from this particle system. And then I remembered I can finally do that with child what's it called? Prefabs, child prefabs, which should come out. Is it gonna come out in Unity 2018.3 or is it 2019.1? But it's supposed to come out soon. Unfortunately not soon enough for this project, but that's okay. Okay, so let's see if... Oh, I can actually just do it in the editor. That's probably easier. So if I look at the particle system... Oh gosh, it zoomed in really close. Confused. There we go. Turn this on. Okay, so yeah, it should not move off of the XZ plane. And it looks like it's not. Okay, so I guess that worked. I wonder if that affects the speed it has coming out. Because that was, I think, some of the weird things that I was seeing where there would be like really small speed stars being emitted, and it was just because it was mostly being emitted in the Z direction because it was like a sphere. Okay, I think that's good. And also I kind of want the render mode. I wonder if there's any way to have it so that they always point upward in the Y direction. This is flat planes instead of being a billboard. Point towards the camera as you will use normals will point out in the corner direction of the particle. Don't know what that means. But I don't think normal is really what I want. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. So I could just have it on a plane here. Okay, well, that's not exactly what I want to happen. I don't want it to have any... I want it to only rotate in one direction. Maybe this is just... I'm trying to... Okay, I'm probably just overthinking this. Because technically I'd like it to always point upwards in the Y direction, but I don't really know if it'll ever be... I mean, because most of the time the camera is going to be looking straight above in the game, so the only time you'd be able to tell there are billboards is during the menu, and they're kind of small at that point, so I don't think it'd be very noticeable. Oh yeah, and a billboard just means it always faces the camera. So I think I might just leave it like this because it's probably a lot more efficient. So... okay. Is there anything else I want to do this before I move on and try the other shapes? No, it looks pretty good. I wonder, should I change these stars to white so that they're more striking? I guess we can try that out. Oh, they're still black. Did I forget to apply? Probably. Okay, so now these little stars are white. I don't know if it looks better or not. Let's see how it looks while playing. I guess the good thing about them being white is that during this time, they're very visible. But it also turns black whenever you collide, so I kind of think it might be better if you can't see anything in collision. Also, I noticed that they all kind of... yeah, all the particles are like in a burst. I'd rather like different particles always be playing at different times, if that makes any sense. Instead, it seems like the particles always play after a couple seconds. I wonder if it has to do with the length of the particle animation. I think I do like it black better. It kind of looks cool white, but I'd rather it that when I kind of want to be kind of like a punishment almost when you hit a wall, and so it should not look as pretty. So I think it'd be better if it's all black because then it's more boring. Although I guess I could just have them change to black when you do collide. I'm not sure how difficult that would be. Probably not too hard. Although I don't know if you can change the color of a particle once it's already spawned. Are these stars? They almost look like... You look real close. Maybe it's just because the size of the screen, but they almost look like they are missing one of the points. Okay, well no, they are actually stars. I guess it's just the scaling makes them look kind of weird. Also, ignore this one in the wall. That was the one I've been using for testing. Okay, well, anyway, I think I'm pretty happy with them. Although, yeah, I do want to fix that one problem. Can I set this to 0 and just have it not care? This one is looping. This indicates the length of one cycle. I kind of just don't want it to have a cycle. What happens if I do that? That's okay. Well, one thing, I just made these two different. They need to be the same, or they'll get different results. And I also need to apply that prefab or the changes to every instance of the prefab. Okay, so do stars even spawn this time? Okay. They do, but they still happen in bursts. So I guess it doesn't have anything to do with the duration, maybe? Maybe what I need to do is have it pre-warm. So this, how this works is that it kind of calculates the effects of the particle as if it had never, well, I guess, how do I say it? It's like the particle system had existed forever instead of just when the particle system was created. So that actually might be what I need to do. Didn't really seem to help. Because I want one star to spawn a particle like every well, I guess I want this particle spawning to be spread out over time. And now it seems like they all just kind of spawn a particle in sync, but they shouldn't have the same seed. Let's look at 2 stars and see what their seeds are. So this one, is that number? Yeah, those are different. Boom. What's the start lifetime, actually? That might be my issue. Start lifetime in seconds. The particle will die when it's... Oh, that's the lifetime of the particles. No, that's fine. It's... actually, did I forget to apply the pre-warm? Maybe that's it. Because it's bold in the editor. I keep forgetting to do that. Nope, that didn't seem to do anything. Reform is collected there. I'll have to think about that. Okay. Maybe it's this emission. Oh no, I just have the rate over time. Which I assume is the lifetime. Or no, it's probably the period of the system. So maybe... Okay. Maybe what's happening is it just picks this rate instead of it being random. Because I kind of like it to just emit one and then restart. That would be kind of cool actually, but it's not what I need right now. Okay, no, I don't need the shape. It's interesting. So it's not culling. Hard to see. I'm not at culling is disabled because velocity over a lifetime and orbital velocity. So it just doesn't like velocity over a lifetime, but I think that's an important effect. So scaling mode. Oh, okay. That's just using the scale of the parent object, which doesn't actually affect me. Have any physics? This is kind of fortunate. Maybe if I set this to 1. Oh, except I didn't apply. And also I have to do it to both. Okay, I think... Wish I could just have it emit one time and then go over this rate over time instead of leaving this kind of high value there. Let me see. I mean, there's still... I think there's still bursts. Except, did I apply that? I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. Need to remember to do that. I keep making the same mistake. Okay, well now there's a lot more particles, which is not really what I want. But at least it's continuous. It doesn't look too bad really, but okay, maybe what I actually need to do, let's see, is just have my own script which will handle these particle system, and so it won't loop. So if I do this, I guess I should just have the duration equal the lifetime. Thankfully isn't variable. Okay, I just wanted to emit one. So do I turn this off? And then maybe I can have the particle system emit. Can I do that here? So is there a system emit? Oops. So there's a play, but I want it to actually just emit a particle. Okay, yeah, there is one. So I guess I still want them to synchronize seeds. I should probably change the name of this, but then I'd have to mess with it in the editor. So, okay, we'll have an update. It's kind of a shame that you have to do it this way, but oops, not what I want. So float, timer. And I'll have to have my own emit, or no, I guess it should be figure timer, and so we'll just do this. So we'll just use the Unity engine random. Don't really care about the seed. Okay, so let's say I want it to emit a particle every 1 to 2 seconds for now. It'll be fine. Make it a float. Okay, so here and start we'll figure the timer. Oh, except actually at the beginning it can be less than this because I kind of want it to be pre-warm, so I guess I didn't have to do that after all. Oops. Let's be good and have like a Alice field, private float, minimum period, and then we'll have a maximum period. If I can spell it right. Okay. So here, do something like this to the max period. Although I guess in order for it to be actually pre-warmed, it would be more like sometime in between these. So we want to do something like this. That works anyway. So, and then here we'll just go between them. Okay. Except I don't need this function anymore. Oops, what's going on? Okay, I don't know why I had trouble cutting that right there. So timer minus equals time delta time if timer is less than or equal to 0. Okay, and then just to prevent rounding errors, we'll add onto this instead of just setting it so that the time doesn't slowly get longer. Oh, then of course we need to emit a particle. So I won't actually play it here. I don't know if I actually need to play it period, but okay, I guess I won't. Let's just see if it needs to be playing, and I'll just have it emit something. What have I done? Stem.emit and just 1. So there might be a better way to do this, but Unity hasn't made it easier or easy to figure out. So I'll probably go research later, but don't really want to do too much Googling on stream because that's really boring. Okay, so again, we'll just go between 1 to 2 seconds. And be sure to apply it this time. Okay. One thing is, it seems like the... Oh, yeah, we're getting really low frames. Oh, you know what? I forgot. No, that shouldn't happen. What's going on? Okay, so we're adding this, but then... Okay, I guess it does have to be playing. Actually, did Unity give me a warning or something? Oh, we're getting an error. I just didn't see it. Object transform is corrupt. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Let's maybe when I click on it, it'll tell me exactly what object it's talking about. Okay, let's pause it. So it seems that... Okay, for one thing, I just noticed that these have a weird rotation, which is probably why some of this stuff is strange. Maybe I'll try to fix that. Okay, but I guess I do need to have it play and then emit, so it's kind of weird. But no. So what have I done that would cause this to mess up? Okay, maybe if I turn off the emitter. But no, I still have this shape. This just like emits new particles. Okay. I guess I'll just turn this on and see if that's what's causing this weird error. Of course I need to apply that though. Oh no. What if I change that would cause this? It's saying the transform is corrupt. So it emits particles. Let's see what the overrides are. Emit params count. I can give it. So I wanted to use the shape that's defined in there. Okay. So if I take away this update, does it still happen? Because that's really the only thing I've added. Maybe I just need to restart Unity or something. Okay. So for some reason that update was messing it up. Can I have this? Okay, there's no like... Okay, well these still have the emissions turned on. I guess I didn't apply that. So if I apply it and they have no emission, does it complain? Nope. No errors. And it didn't like turn on the emission. No, it's still off. There shouldn't be any particles. What have I done here? Okay, so I guess something's wrong with that emit. So if I just turn that off and we don't do anything, does that cause the weird transform thing? No, so something about emitting a particle. Well, Unity gives me this function, so... Okay, let's just turn it back on. Okay, no, so it does not like to emit a particle for some reason. Okay. Let's actually... I'm afraid that I forgot to apply the projection or the prefabs again, so I'm just going to apply turning the emission back on, and now it'll let me use that emit function. No. Okay, so I guess the emit function is either broken or I'm doing something wrong. Okay. Let's see. Unity particle system emit invalid AABB. Some particle systems are causing blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's okay. So this is from 2015. Okay, particle systems that are active with no active particles. Stop is called on the particle system, or if I turn looping off and it ends. Okay, here's a workaround, which is to count live particles and disable if the renderer is 0. So you have to disable the renderer. Okay, so it just can't be active if there's no particles. Okay, let's look at the bug report and see if Unity ever fixed it. Okay, so they said it's closed. Turns out the editor logs error messages for particle systems that happen to have 0 particles in some cases. Doesn't seem to be fixed. At least for me. Or there's some other error. Well, actually, yeah, this isn't what we're trying to do, because we're trying to use the emit function, and that's what's causing the errors, because if I turn this off, we have no particles, and we don't get anything. Any problems like this. I wonder, will this tell me like how many particles are active? No, but I mean we can see that there's not any. There's a bunch of particle renderers, but no particles. Okay, yeah, so something about the emit function. So this isn't actually the same issue we're having. Um, okay, yeah, very specifically a particle system where I emit particles manually. That's what we're trying to do. Spawning that fly you once you catch them. Blah, 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 blah. Sometimes just 5, other times 30. Receive 1,000. Word differently. Okay, well that's not it. The error would only show up when I was looking at particle systems. Yeah, I know all that. Let's find out why the objects grow infinitely. Problem definitely lies in computing. I don't ever mess with that, so... Yeah, this was still a long time ago. Okay, here's what I want. Okay, well it says it was fixed in 2018.2, which I'm running. Okay, I said it was fixed, but they didn't say anything about it, so it's obviously not fixed. This is really annoying. Okay, so first of all, Unity's default system won't work the way I want, and then when I try to do a workaround, there's this other bug. Okay, what can I do? Okay, well, this is going to be kind of annoying. Maybe what I should do... Okay, so... Let's see. This might work. Okay, let's turn back on emission. And what I'll do is have the particle systems not run until the timers... Until we just have one loop of the timer. So we'll set the random seed. And then... do enabled is true. So once this timer is done, we won't loop again. We'll just turn these systems on. Or I guess we'll just play on them. And then we'll set enable to false here so that the update function won't run anymore. So we kind of just have this... Okay, I guess... Let's just call this warm-up period. Okay, so hopefully this will do what I want. Okay, did I turn the emission on for both? Yeah, I did. And set this warm-up period, I don't know, to 3 seconds. So now every particle system will start playing sometime between 0 to 3 seconds. Okay, I don't see anything going. Oh, because I turned looping off. Okay, I don't need that on anymore. Oh, well, we already have the start delay. But I wonder if that happens... Let me see. Start delay. Delay in seconds that the particle system will wait before emitting particles cannot be used together with a pre-warmed looping system. Okay. I didn't see that before, or I just didn't recognize it, but that might actually be what we want. But let's test my hacky system first. Did I not apply it? Probably not, knowing me. Yeah, I did not apply it. Okay, there's one going. I just kind of want a continuous stream of particles instead of them all playing at once. Is it better? I don't know. I mean, it's still kind of working the same as before. I wonder... Okay, this is really confusing me because now I'm trying to think. Is it actually... Like, am I just imagining the burst? Okay, well, let's do something... Well, I was gonna say, if I record the timestamp that everyone spawns, then I could, like, see if I'm imagining the burst or not, but... I don't think I can get a callback for when a particle is emitted. No. Okay, well, this doesn't really work, does it? So I'll just comment this out, and hopefully using the startup delay will fix it. So I'm hoping I can set this one to be random between two constants. Okay, so if I do something like between 1 to 10 seconds, that should be... Oh, well, that might have been the issue. I think that maybe my warm-up time wasn't long enough because this emission is once every 10 to 3 seconds. So probably that was the issue. Okay, so hopefully if I do this, it won't like happen every time that this, like every time it loops. I'm not sure if it will or not. But I don't see like any longer than expected periods for spawning here. I guess one way I could test this is if I set this to 1, then there should spawn 1 every second and it wouldn't care about the start delay. Okay, so it, yeah, it doesn't seem to. Change this back to that. And okay, don't forget to apply it. Okay, so hopefully this works and we can move on to something else. I didn't expect to spend quite so long on these little particles, because there's some other ones I want to implement. Okay, now it seems to be better because everywhere I look there seems to be a particle spawning at any point in time instead of all at once. Okay. Okay, so finally, I think I got it right. Let's just go ahead and remove that warm-up period because it's not needed anymore. I'll just... Well, I won't delete it. Okay. So now I want to make particles for the other shapes. Now I've been going back and forth if I want them all to look the same except with different textures or if I want them to act differently. So first of all, I think I'll just have them all the same as the star and just see how that looks. But before I do that, let's get rid of this weird rotation they have. Okay, so if I do that... Okay, yeah, so now the rotation is a little weird because I'm scaling it to 0 here. So really the scale should be 0 at Y like I thought originally. But it was... they were rotated in a strange way. Is that correct though? Oh, the orbit is now weird. So it should be orbiting around... Oh, actually these are the same too, which is kind of not correct, but so this is 0 to 0. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay, so if I duplicate these two and then just move them over to the triangle, I need to change the position to be 0 here, at least on the x-axis so that they're centered. Okay, and now I want to change their particle or the texture, so I just need to make a new thing here. And I already prepared the textures. Okay. I guess I can get rid of the number at the end because that's just for duplicates. Don't want to zoom in, but okay, and then the render me, I need to change the color to blue. But it's a specific shade of blue. Trying to keep everything synchronized. Okay, so before I go and try to make fancier effects for these, I think I'll just... Does that point to the right thing? No, it doesn't. Yeah, like I said, I'll just have the same effect for all the shapes. Okay. And now I just need to do it for the lightning bolt. Okay, make a new material. And you could do something a little bit more efficient here by making them share. Yeah, share the material by just combining all these shapes onto the same texture. But I just didn't want to have to deal with more complexity. I think that the rotation for this lightning bolt is going to look kind of bad, so I'm pretty sure that we'll change at least the lightning bolt particle. Doesn't look that good for the triangle either, if I'm honest. Okay, and now I need to change the color. So if I go pick out this magenta up here. Okay, and now I just need to copy this. And put in the right objects and then apply. Okay. So I'm pretty sure now we should have spinning little particles for all three of the power-up types. I don't think it'll look very good for the lightning bolts or the triangles, but we'll just see. First of all, seems like the lightning bolts are offset. Look down, straight down. Oh no, they exist. I just didn't see them being drawn. Okay, why are there some stuck right there? Oh, it's just the texture because I turned off the camera that's rendering the projected texture. I guess I should just look closer. Okay, no, there just one just went. It's just hard to see because they're smaller. Well, it doesn't really look too bad, although yeah, rotation for the lightning bolts is just strange because they are not symmetrical in all directions. So I'm kind of thinking the lightning bolt should just like go straight out and how do I want the triangles kind of should too. But I don't really want, I kind of want them all to be different. It would be cool if I could synchronize the particles also with the animation of the shapes, but then I'd have to use the emit myself, which we know Unity doesn't like very much. But yeah, anyway. Okay, well, I guess I better call the stream now because yeah, I've got to go get some lunch, but I think we did some pretty good work. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the particles that, or at least the stars, and I'll just do some tweaks. And other things I want to add is, yeah, there definitely needs to be more particles around the player little circle. Yeah, one thing I've been struggling with this game is making sure that the player is very visible, because I'm trying to keep to only using black, white, and then these three colors. So, I mean, obviously the player would be visible if I made it, I don't know, what color, I guess lime green or something. But I don't really want to have to add that. And then the other issue is it also has to be small to be able to fit through these corners. So I'm going to try to make it more visible by making it stand out, because like it rotates clockwise instead of counterclockwise, like this, like the stars. And then also, well, it's pretty much the only thing you need to keep track of, so I'm hoping that it won't be too hard for the player to keep their eye on it. Yeah, I'll need to do some play testing about that, but I was trying to think of other ways. If I make it have like a path of particles behind it, I thought that might make it a bit more obvious. And then also, I don't want these particles that the collectibles emit to be too distracting, so I might need to lower their emission period even more. But anyway, other things I want to add is particles, obviously, when you collide. And then just a burst of particles whenever you collect one of these. Basically, I'll just be a copy of the effect we already have, except a big burst of them. But yeah, I think the game is shaping up to look pretty cool, at least. So hopefully I'll be done with it in a couple days. Maybe Tuesday. If it's not done yet, we'll probably be able to do the finishing touches. And then I have a couple small ideas I want to finish, because I'm kind of trying to work on some 3D games just to put on my portfolio, because mostly I'd done 2D before this, so. But yeah, we'll see. And probably, oh yeah, I did want to get back to Lizard Tamer too, so we'll see. But anyway, yeah, sorry I had to take such a long break, but I'm glad I was able to come back to streaming, and thanks everybody for coming by. I really appreciate it. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I have a Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram account. So if you're interested in any of those, feel free to follow. I will post development screenshots, and on my Twitter, I'll announce when I go live. Of course, you can always just follow me here for that same thing. And then on YouTube, I do upload all streams. So if you want to see how the games used to look, or just couldn't watch the whole thing live, you can check them out there. But I'll have links in the description, and also the video, or I'll have links in the chat and also the video description if you're curious. Oh yeah, and of course I have a Discord server, so I try to stay on it most of the day, so if you'd like to chat, feel free to join it. Yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, I'll see you guys Tuesday, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Bye-bye.